It's 12 Days of Stitchmas, day 2. Are you ready to see what we have to open today? I think we'll open 2 and maybe 3 too today, just so that we can get a jump start on these projects. Now you can take them one day at a time, you know, just have fun opening them with your morning coffee. Ooh, I love that it gives you the preview here so that you can see what it is that you're going to be making. Let's pull back the paper. I love the tree. How pretty is that? Super pretty. All right, let's take a look at this tree. Okay, day 2 is a beautiful tree that has the stitching elements here in the center, so you can create these diamonds of stitching. Then you have these separate pieces here that you can layer on if you choose. There's also a topper. So this is the topper for the tree, and this is the piece that attaches the topper to the tree so that you can stitch this beautiful topper in there too. Wow. So I have my tree here. I cut out with the stitching inside and the outside. I cut out this small piece here, which are the shapes of the base of the tree. But to me, I thought that that would make a really good tree trunk and it would look really pretty. Then I cut the topper out from brushed gold cardstock. And this is the piece that helps you to attach that topper. And I've already made the decision that I'm not going to stitch through this because I think it looks really beautiful on its own. So I've chosen to do my tree in pink and this really pretty kind of goldish yellow. So I have 335 and 834, both DMC. I am going to use a tiny bit of tape here because this is going to be some long stitches. So I'm just going to cut a piece of tape and put it right about there. And I can trim that back later. But each one of these is going to go into the same hole. So that goes there, and then I come up into the next hole and go back into the single hole. Okay, now that I've got that top row done, I'm going to go back and do it the opposite way to create the diamond shape. Isn't that pretty? I love that. Okay, so now I'm going to switch colors and then we're going to switch over to the gold. Okay, here are our day 2 pieces, all stitched and ready to go on a project. I really love the alternative colors that I've used here, the pinks, the kind of goldish yellows, and then I did stitch the bottom portion of this shape to create a tree trunk. Okay, so let's go ahead and put this together. I'm going to grab my liquid adhesive and really add some adhesive here, get everything stuck down, and then we're going to let it sit for a few minutes before we create a card. I think that this stunning tree deserves an entire card today. While our tree is drying, I'm going to prep my card base. So I have an A2 folded 110-pound Neenah Solar White card base here. I have a piece of pink cardstock that I took out of my stash, and this is going to go in the middle of my card so that I have that nice white frame around it. Then I'm going to use die set that I think everyone should have in their stash, the Essential Arches dies. I'm going to use these two, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's 9 and 10. So arches 9 and 10. From the smallest to the largest, and I am going to cut the smallest arch, so arch number 9, out of my pink cardstock. So, but I want to add a little bit of texture behind my arch. So I've grabbed a piece of 80-pound white cardstock here. I'm going to use the larger arch, so the number 10 arch, because I know it's slightly bigger than that number 9. I am going to die cut this arch, and then we are going to add some texture to it with an embossing folder. So let's get this cut out. So next I'm going to run this through the Diamond Plaid embossing folder. Now this has diamonds in it. They're different than on the tree, but still a similar shape. And so that's why I'm using this one. And you want to make sure that it's nice and straight in here and kind of centered. So I'm going to run this through my Platinum 6 now. Okay, let's take a look at this reveal. And I love both sides. I don't know about you guys, but the reverse side is so cool too, how it has that debossed effect. But really, really cool. And it's just gonna look nice behind that tree and just give it another special touch. I love that. So to add a finished look to our arch, I'm going to now use both arches. And I've grabbed a piece of the treasured cardstock, the gold assortment. This is the glitter metallic cardstock here. I love this cardstock. It is amazing quality. And what we're going to do is get our smaller frame in place, like so. Sorry, our larger frame, and then we're going to get our smaller frame in place right inside of it, so that the spacing is even all of the way around. Then I'm going to run these two pieces through. Now, if you wanted a wider frame, then you would go with the next size up, but I think this frame is going to be just perfect. And then what I can do is adhere this frame to the outside of my pink arch. How pretty is that? Okay, so what we're going to do to put the card together is adhere this piece on first, and I'm going to use some just regular tape, just a few pieces here. There we go. Okay, so let's get this all in place. So I'm going to go ahead and push this one down. Okay, so I'm just going to run foam adhesive around the edges and on those arches. So now, you know what, just to make sure I give it some wiggle room here, just to make sure I get it centered, I'm going to put some liquid adhesive on here, because if you don't, as soon as you put it down, it is going to be stuck. If you just run a little bit of glue on your adhesive, your foam adhesive, then you'll have that wiggle time. And I love that. I just love that texture behind that little arch. It's going to make this so pretty. And then we can add our tree right here to the center. And the great thing about this is that we can add dimensional adhesive in here, and it's going to be at the same level as our arch. Okay, for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and adhere this down without placing any liquid adhesive, except for at the very bottom edge down here, because that's going to kind of lie on my frame, and then up here as well. We need a little bit of glue up there. The rest is going to sit inside this window really nicely, and you just want to make sure that your tree is centered in that window. How cute is that? Can't even. I'm just going to put that there to keep that in place. Now for my sentiment, I've grabbed the Merry and Bright tree. I wanted a really like a small sentiment, and with this tree I want it to be the star of the show, so I want something small. So I'm going to do this Bright Wishes. Okay, so let me cut this. We're going to do it out of gold. Look, I just have this tiny piece of gold. I'm going to do this side too. Okay, I'm going to run that through my little scalp machine. And look at that. I love that. That is so cute. So we're going to do the same thing with wishes. Okay, and here is wishes. So how do I want to place this? Yep, we're going to go with the top. To finish off the card, I'm going to use the Spectrum AB self-adhesive crystals. I love that these kind of take on the colors of your card, and they're just going to make a nice little special touch here. I'm going to put 3 up here by my sentiment and 2 on the opposite corner. And that is my completed card using day 2 of the Stitchmas dies. Thanks so much for watching as I created this card using day 2 of the Stitchmas Advent calendar from Spellbinders. I hope you'll check out all of the supplies that I used in the video description box below. You'll give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to see more Stitchmas videos. Thanks so much for watching and happy creating, friends.